Hey man, what's up? What are you up to?
I'm just watching the new Netflix show Wednesday, the Addams Family one.
Dude, everybody's been watching that. And I think I saw somewhere that Jenna Ortega stopped being vegan during filming or something.
What?
Oh, thank God. It's just a dream. So everybody's been watching this new show Wednesday on Netflix with Jenna Ortega. Brienne of Tarth is in it too. Who remembers her? And I'll be honest, I haven't seen the show, so maybe I have no business making this video. But I see it all over the internet with the dances and yeah, everyone's just talking about it. But something that did catch my eye was the report that Jenna Ortega is no longer vegan because she was filming in Romania, and she said that there wasn't. That the food is different there, and so it was much harder to be vegan while she was there. And I thought, I really want to say something about this because I'm in the country right next door. I'm in Hungary. And so this video is not like an attack on her or anything. She seems fine. She seems like a friendly person. And I also wasn't there for the filming, so I don't know the exact situation. This is more of just my thoughts on situations like hers that happen, I'd say pretty frequently. You see them in the news every now and then. And I'm gonna talk about whether or not I think she should be worried about the potential backlash from the vegans.
Don't tell that to the vegans. They'll come for you.
They're gonna come for me, but that's okay.
So I would assume there's a lot of similarities between how it is to be vegan in Romania and how it is to be vegan here in Hungary. Because both of the countries, they're really close to each other, they share a border, they're both EU, I figured that they probably have a similar offering of food overall. Hungary also has that Central European meat and potatoes reputation. They always say, everything here is meat and potatoes. It'll be impossible to find anything else, which isn't the case. Anyways, her saying that it was difficult to be vegan in Romania was shocking for me being here in Hungary, because I'm not like a pro here in Hungary at being vegan. I've been vegan while in Hungary, maybe a combination of like 6 months, but I found it to be extremely easy here. I've been blown away by just purely how many meat alternatives and cheese alternatives you can find, how many vegan restaurants that are all over, at least the capital city where I am, Budapest. I don't want to sound. I think there's a lot of products that they import from Germany, and so some of the selection is even better than stuff that I saw when I was in the US. They've got vegan hot dog sausages and sliced ham, and yeah, they got a lot of stuff here. But you don't even need that stuff to be vegan. I actually don't eat that stuff too often myself. I just eat it when I want to treat myself. My experience of EU countries is that the standard or the baseline is so much higher. Maybe it's not just EU, maybe it's all of Europe, but there's so many things that are clearly marked as vegan. You go to the supermarket too, everything is clearly marked as vegan. The waiters know what you're talking about when you say vegan. Versus when I lived in Mexico, it's still easy to be vegan there too, but in a place like Hungary, it just feels like it's that much easier. There's just so much selection here too of chocolate bars and candies, milks and everything, and it's all clearly labeled. It just makes things way easier. But even then, you've got the staples here, right? They got beans and oats and pastas and seeds, and the tofu here is just unbelievable. The tofu, I've never had better tofu in my life. It comes pre-made and everything, but anyways. And so I guess what I'm trying to get at is I find it difficult to believe that it would be so hard to be vegan in a country that is so close and would probably have a very similar offering of food. There was such little accessibility to food to force her to break her veganism. And it could be the case that she's not even vegan. She might just be eating a plant-based diet and saying she's vegan, which I think is more likely the case. I made a whole video on the differences, but basically the short and sweet version is a vegan is someone who is against the oppression and abuse of animals, and so they really don't want animals to be harmed or killed on their behalf unnecessarily. Versus someone who's plant-based is more doing it for health reasons or environmental reasons or some other reason that it doesn't have to do with the animals. And it's not like a vegan will never eat an animal product. If you're in a survival situation or something, but the whole point is to try to avoid it as much as you possibly can, unless it's life-threatening. Versus someone who's plant-based and doing it for health and environmental reasons, where eating not vegan or like pescatarian, like she said she was eating for a few weeks or a few months or for however long filming took, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't make that much of a difference. So that's why I think she's probably more plant-based rather than vegan, because I could see someone going to this filming set and saying, oh, you know, it's a little bit less convenient. I won't really worry about that part right now. I'll focus on the filming and I'll just go back to eating vegan when I'm in my more normal setting. Versus getting someone who's vegan to eat an animal product would require a lot more. Like I said, a survival situation, which is obviously not the case on the set of this massive Netflix production. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is sort of strange for me to think that if she's like the lead actress of this huge Netflix show, wouldn't you be able to say like, hey, I want vegan food, like only give me like vegan stuff? I've never like filmed a movie, and so I don't know what it's like to be there or anything. Like, I just imagine there are people waiting on you hand and foot. Is that the expression? So correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it just does seem weird to me when it feels like you could have everything catered to you. So I guess another thing that's like strange to me, this is like Stranger Things, is that veganism is not this like bougie diet that people make it out to be. I made another video about this too, but for example, in the United States, if you're in a lower socioeconomic status, you're twice as likely to be vegan than if you're in a higher socioeconomic status. But especially if she started going pescatarian, I'm assuming it was something about making sure she's getting enough of the omega-3 fatty acids. And the biggest plant sources of that are chia seeds and flax seeds. And you can also take supplements. And again, those aren't some mysterious, like exclusive foods. You know, you go to any supermarket here and you find just tons of flaxseed, tons of chia seeds. And again, you can always get the omega-3 algae supplement. And being in her position, it's just strange to me if she really doesn't want to harm animals, that she wouldn't be able to get that. Like, I don't think Romania has Amazon. Hungary doesn't have Amazon, but you could order omega-3 supplements from Amazon Germany to Hungary, for example. And that's like the most extreme case. That's like the Hail Mary if you have no other option. I'm sure you can find it in different places, and you know, I'm sure she's got the connections to be able to find that. Anyways, that's more like just building my case that she's probably plant-based and not vegan. She's not really thinking about it for the animals. She's really thinking about it for environmental and health reasons. And even if they were in some like remote location where there in that area there was no access to like chia and flax seeds, it's just difficult to imagine her not being able to make arrangements to be able to get like the chia, flax seeds, or the supplements that I've been talking about, either shipped in from other European countries or, you know, from Bucharest, or I'm pretty sure there's gonna be tons of that. Like, I'm positive, actually. It's not like there are no vegans in Romania. Let me know if you are a vegan living in Romania. Again, that's if she's vegan and she really doesn't want to kill animals. Versus if she's just plant-based, it would make sense that that level of inconvenience could get her to reincorporate animal products into her diet. I do want to call out plant-based news a little bit for saying like Jenna Ortega no longer vegan. And the only reason I'm a little bit nitpicky is because I don't mind when other big news organizations say someone's vegan and they're not vegan, because you know, they don't know what veganism is. But plant-based news is supposed to be, as far as I know, it's supposed to be like a vegan organization. And so for them to perpetuate the idea that veganism is this diet that people hop in and out of, I don't know. I really didn't like that. I feel like they should be using the term veganism correctly. But then again, I don't know, because maybe they want it to be more digestible to a non-vegan audience. And I've talked about before, maybe there is benefit in using the term vegan, even if it's incorrect, so people hear the term and maybe do more research on the term and then end up making the connection to the animals. Or, you know, it could always be the most likely scenario where they're just respecting the words that she used. So you know what? I think I figured it out. I think for me, I'd like to see them maybe respect the word she uses, and then in the article probably say something like, Jenna Ortega may be using the word veganism to reference her plant-based diet. Yeah, so maybe I don't want to call out plant-based news. I just thought it was weird. So should Jenna Ortega be worried about the backlash, or is she in some kind of danger of being canceled by the vegan community? A resounding no. And it's for a couple reasons. First of all, like, if you've been vegan for a while, you know that every couple months there's like a new celebrity that comes out and says, oh, you know, I'm no longer vegan. So, you know, we're used to the betrayal. No, I'm kidding, but it kind of goes to the recurring theme that a lot of these celebrities and high profile people tend to be eating plant-based diets and not really being vegan. Now, Joaquin Phoenix comes out and says that he's no longer vegan. That would be crazy, you know, because he's someone who's actually gone on the stage at the Oscars, was it, where he gave like a speech about the dairy cows.
We feel entitled to artificially inseminate a cow. And when she gives birth, we steal her baby.
And it's funny, when I watched that I wasn't vegan, I was like, oh, this guy, like, so weird, like, so annoying. And now here I am being like, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix. And so yeah, I feel like vegans are pretty used to that happening. And even if vegans were really mad about it, you know, it's such a small part of the population. I feel like they couldn't really do any meaningful damage to anybody's career. Not yet anyways, I'm working on it. But anyways, I hope that Jenna Ortega has gone back to eating a plant-based diet. And if she wasn't vegan, I hope that she stumbles more into veganism, you know, and watches some YouTube videos. So yeah, Jenna, let me know what you thought down in the comments. So if you want to see the video that I keep talking about being vegan versus plant-based, it's right here. In the meantime, if you like this video, consider liking, subscribing, and don't forget to take your B12 supplement. All right, till next time, see ya.